All right, good morning, scholars. So yesterday we finished our story on Pandora and Pandora's box. So today we are going to start a new story called Arachne the Weaver. Okay, Arachne the Weaver is our new myth that we are starting today. And the things that I want you to think about are, I should say. What do you think this myth is going to explain? Today's read aloud, Arachne the Weaver, is about someone who combines strands of thread or yarn in an alternating pattern in order to make a cloth. So I want you to keep that in your mind to think about what that's going to turn out to be. Ow. And then you need to know that arachnid is a term that describes a type of animals that has 8 legs, no antennas or wings, and a 2-segmented body. So those are your clues for today's lesson. So remember, during the reading aloud to you, you are listening for 2 things. What is this myth explaining? And you are listening for the different characters so you can be adding it to your character list, just like I have here. All right. So this is our first picture for today. It says, long ago lived among the Greeks a young woman named Arachne, who was a very gifted weaver. A weaver weaves or spins thread or yarn together to make cloth. Arachne wove up a wooden frame called a loom. She did not just weave solid colors. She wove tapestries, wonderful woven pictures that people would hang on their walls as art. People came from distant lands to see these masterpieces that she would create. A visitor might comment something like, "This is amazing. Look at the leaves on this tree. They look so real that you almost expect them to move in the breeze. And this deer in the meadow looks as if he's going to turn and jump away." The visitors would tell Arachne, "You are the finest weaver in all the world." But then they would add, except of course the goddess Athena, who invented weaving. Athena was actually the goddess of all handicrafts, not just weaving. So let's stop and think right now. How do you think that would make Arachne feel? They told her all of her stuff was awesome, it was amazing, it was beautiful, except of course the goddess Athena. She was not as good as the goddess Athena. How do you think that would make her feel? And this is Arachne right here, showing off one of her tapestries or woven pictures. People complimented Arachne by comparing her work to that of Athena's. At first, Arachne was pleased with this comparison, but as the years passed, she began to get annoyed. She would say, "I'm sure Athena is very talented, but look, did you see this one over here?" As still more years passed, whenever people compared her to the goddess, Arachne would angrily say, "I don't care if Athena invented weaving. I think I'm the best weaver in the world." So let's think about 2 things right now. Why do you think that Arachne began to get annoyed with people's statements? What was her thought? What did the text say she thought about herself? Let's go back and read it. "I don't care if Athena invented weaving. I think I'm the best weaver in the world." So why would she get annoyed when people would say she wasn't as good as Athena? Because she felt like she was better than Athena, right? That's what the text told us. My second question to you is, do you think that her bragging might cause problems? Because, right, she's bragging. She's talking about how good she is. She doesn't care about anybody else's work except her own. She's talking about how wonderful it is and all of this. So why do you think this could cause a problem? Especially thinking about that Athena is a god and Arachne is not, or a goddess, I should say, and Arachne is not. Do you think that when Athena finds out, she's going to be happy? Let's find out. Word of this eventually reached the ears of the goddess Athena. Ooh, I told you guys. She decided to visit Arachne's studio to learn if Arachne was truly saying such things. However, Athena did not want Arachne to recognize her. So with her magic, Athena changed her own appearance from a beautiful, athletic young woman. Now, with a wave of her hand and a puff of smoke, gone was the young woman, replaced by a woman so old and bent with age that she had to lean over on her walking stick to get around. Of course, inside that body was still the goddess Athena, but no one would have recognized her. In this disguise, she went to visit Arachne, commenting, "Your work is extraordinary, my dear. I am certain that you are the finest weaver in the world, except, of course, for the goddess Athena." Now, let me get my pen. Hold on. Where is it? Here's the goddess Athena. She's transformed herself in this bitter, old, mean-looking old woman. Here's Arachne. We know this is Athena, really. And she's trying to play with Arachne, right? She's tempting her by saying, your work is good, but like other people were telling her, your work is good, but it's not as good as Athena. And remember, she's Athena. So, hearing this, Arachne, thinking she's speaking to an old woman, angrily explained, "I am sick of hearing about Athena. I say I'm the best weaver in the world." Why? What do you think Athena thinks right now? What do you think Athena's going to do? I think Athena is going to get angry, and she is going to punish Arachne. Also, why do you think that she didn't want to go into the studio? Why was the plan for her to turn herself into an old woman? What was the purpose of that? Do you think that Arachne would have said the same thing if Athena had walked in as herself? Nope, I don't think she would have. All right, mouse. And uh-oh, erase. Erase. Sorry, y'all. Erase. Mouse. Okay. Then all of a sudden there was a puff of smoke, and when it blew away, who did Arachne see standing there but the beautiful goddess Athena? Arachne was afraid of what the goddess might do to her, but she took a deep breath and she said, "I meant what I said, and I'm prepared to prove it." She is sassy. "I am prepared to prove it and prove that I am the best. I have 2 wooden looms for weaving. You use one and I shall use the other. Let us see once and for all who is the best." Here we are. They're starting their competition. So the goddess and the young woman chose their colors and started to weave. When at last they stopped, Arachne grinned, for she truly believed she had won. She pointed out all the wonderful features of her work to the goddess. "Look," she said, "see how real the stream looks tumbling down this hillside, and how the water reflects the colors of the sunlight as real water would do. And if you move over here to look, the colors actually change the way the real sunlight would change." At last, she turned to see Athena's tapestry. All right, we are going to stop right there. Your homework assignment today is that I want you to retell me the story. So in your writing, make sure you are using transition words like first, this happened, making sure it's 3rd grade work. Then this happened, afterwards, this happened, lastly, this happened. So I need to know what so far we have read about in the story. Okay? Starting at the very beginning to where we just stopped. I need you to retell the story in order. And when we come back tomorrow, we are going to find out what this myth is going to explain. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful day.